Hi, I wanted to talk about how the role of this fighter shaped its design. So, when I first came up with the design, it was in use with a ground based safe zone where we had a lot of people come to get free resources and we had a lot of traffic. But with lots of traffic came lots of pirates and raiders to try to attack people. So we needed a defense fighter to keep the ground protected, or at least give them measure of safety to escape while I distracted the raiders from attacking their construction. So one of the goals was to make a fighter that had a lot of firepower only in a direction I wanted it, because most of the people coming weren't allies. So the way the guns work is they would target any enemy. And if you're not an ally, you're an enemy. So they would automatically start shooting at ground targets. So in designing this, I put all the firepower on the top and made the bottom just an armored slope. And this prevented the guns from shooting anywhere except where I faced them. So by having everything to the top, I could keep enemies above us coming down to attack the city under fire while protecting everybody below me from the same gunfire. So because of its close air support role, it was designed to be very cheap to make and deploy. And it only has 3 small fuel tanks to keep it running. So you only get 10-15 minutes of thrust maybe. So you're good for maybe 1 or 2 fights. And then you return back to the base to get refueled, and you back up again. But because of its close air support role, that usually wasn't a problem. Now, there is enough fuel for you to circle a moon and easily have enough left to still get in a fight and make it back home. And I have taken these to Earth-like, and per them. And it was able to get down, attack targets, and get back up into orbit to be picked up by a carrier. And because of its role as a fighter, I wanted it to be very maneuverable, and instead of relying on armor, that it would rely on its speed and maneuverability to evade fire. So I went with a very slim profile, and if you've seen any early versions of this, it used to be a lot taller, and over time I've made the profile thinner and thinner until it's just about 2.5 blocks tall. And this is really to prevent as much damage as possible from reaching, because the less times it's hit, the less armor I need. And the later models have been fitted with grav drive to give that a little extra boost of speed. And sometimes they're fitted so that they provide extra strafing speed as opposed to forward speed. And sometimes it's better to circle a target rather than chase it. But again, it depends on the role. If it's in an interceptor role, then it will have them forward facing, so I can catch up the targets. While if it's protecting a spot, then it'll have strafing for lateral movement. You will also notice that different models have the cockpit in different areas. Some of them are forward underneath a door, and other ones are back underneath the turret. And both provide just about the same amount of protection. Some of the earliest models had turrets on the front, which usually were hit and would also take out the cockpit since there really wasn't any armor there. But the latest models, we dropped the turret from the nose and put it on top of the wing, making it that much more protected and also protecting the cockpit. And I pulled back the forward cockpit one space. I sacrificed a upward thruster in return for a little bit more armor between the cockpit and gunfire coming in. There's extra panes of glass that have been very effective at holding off any gunfire from getting into the cockpit or reaching it. I've yet to lose the cockpit since moving it back. And even the exposed one under the turret, because of the way the underbelly is designed to act as armor, when shots come, either you dodge or you let it hit the belly, and that will absorb the hit. And it's been very effective at keeping you alive when you're flying this. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll try to get back to you. Or if there's enough interest, I'll make another video. Take care.